Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with a wrap-up video for our upgraded budget list of Mono Blue Devotion. Again, if you wanted to check out the old series where we went 4-0 with the Mono Blue Devotion, go check out the links in the description. We'll lead you back to that playing on a budget video. This, of course, is not a budget video. We're splashing in the red in this version for Keranos and Shaman of the Great Hunt. We didn't get to see Keranos in action. I think we would have been able to slam that versus the black-blue control. It would have been clutch. Instead of Thassa there, Keranos would have been a win. But it is what it is. You could definitely go up in the count of Keranos if you think it's good in the metagame right now. The problem is I don't like it main board because of Dromoka's command being such a threat for taking out the Keranos. And I guess to compare this, the strengths of this version is that it has this nice little tempo feel. You're getting in for damage, and then the Shaman Hunt comes out of nowhere, pluses up these guys, and then now you have a more formidable force to deal with, a more ferocious force to deal with, and then you can outwhelm your opponent. So what I like about it is kind of in the green-based decks where the board sometimes gets clogged, is that your board state is unblockable, their board state is not. Unfortunately, though, our board state is quite weak, and that's the problem with cutting the cards like the Stormcrasher Elemental. So let's go in and let's look at the regular or the green version. So the Collected Company version I think is better all around. Collected Company just seems like the missing piece against control, as you can get some really, really silly things to come out of Collected Company, like the Silumgar Sorcerer and the Thassa God of the Sea and the Stormcrasher Elemental. Or none of these are bad either. Like Collective Company into 2 Frostwalkers in a turn, for example, and then swinging for 8 the next turn is huge, especially when you've been dinging them down for 1 damage here, 2 damage there, 3 damage here. And then you can actually rely on Thassa, the same thing for unblockable. You could go Collected Company, hit a Thassa, hit a Stormcrasher. If you already had like a Frostwalker, well, Frostwalker wouldn't work, but if you had another card that you needed to give unblockable, then with Thassa's 4 mana, you can give them both unblockable, or give Thassa and Stormcrasher unblockable, and then swing in for lethal. That is also another scenario. Or just add a ton of Devotion. You have Collected Company, and say you have a Master of Waves in your hand, add a ton of Devotion, and the next turn slam a Master of Waves. And I thought we got to see some draws like that. Again, the sideboard does need a little bit of tweaking to get there, but that's definitely the gist of this deck, and both of them are quite fun. I even thought about maybe going into a few other colors. I don't know if you get much out of black or white for splashing those colors. Black, really what you get is like cards like Ultimate Price. You can splash for more of a control type feel, but in this type of deck, I don't think that's the route to go. I can't think off the top of my head any black-blue cards that are worth running in a list like this. But, and then white, same thing. White has a few okay cards that I could see splashing for, but nothing that just plain comes out and says, hey, you need to play this card in a blue devotion. People used to use, the one thing is just the God of Afara. Afara is pretty cool with a deck, especially like Silumgar Sorcerer. Now you have a way to splash something in, or flash something in a turn. So Afara, you'd be able to draw another card. And let's see where Afara got a pull. So it says, as long as your devotion to white and blue is less than 7, it isn't a creature. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you had another creature enter the battlefield under control last turn, draw a card. So with cards like the Silumgar Sorcerer, of course, it wouldn't work in this deck. I'm not suggesting to throw it in a Collected Company but in a blue-white deck, just splashing for Afara, you would get the access to even cards like God's Willing or Valorous Stance. I would think might be splashable in here, but you'd mainly get the Afara, which means that every one of your 1 and 2 drop spells would end up drawing you cards, and it could almost work like your Bident of Thassa. But again, it's very susceptible to being sacrificed, making it being sacrificed with the command. And I don't know if Afar is a route to go, but you could definitely explore that. White-blue devotion, splash the white. So let me know what you thought about this deck. This isn't the most creative one that I can do with upgrading budget decks. I will be looking at some brews, both on the line of can I make them budget and can I make them a nice little fresh deck for the metagame with an on-upgraded version for next Friday's playing on a budget. But I hope you enjoyed this. Let us know what you think about this series in the comment section below. This is Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.